Hi everybody, thanks for being flexible about the little technical difficulty I had today with the placenta tour, but we'll go ahead and get started and I'll post this for you guys to check out. So, let me just balance that there. Here is a placenta. These membranes here are the amniotic sac. And actually this one was previously frozen and it worked out pretty well because you can see that these membranes are separating. And this is the amniotic and the chorionic membrane, the amniotic being on the inside here and the chorionic on the outside. The amniotic membrane is the part that's on the inside where the baby resides with the umbilical cord. And this is the fetal side of the placenta inside of here. We'll look at that in a minute. But right now, while we have this side visible, we'll check this out. This is a pretty average sized placenta. These are called cotyledons, and this is what you look for when you're examining the placenta after birth to be sure that there are no pieces missing that could possibly be retained in the uterus, which would cause hemorrhaging. So this one looks like it has all of its parts. Sometimes you have to kind of shove them together and make sure that they fit. But this has a nice even margin around the sides. Sometimes you get different shapes. Sometimes you get like a heart-shaped placenta or a placenta that is bilobed with two kind of a break in between and more like separation in between the two sides. Sometimes you can get what's called an accessory lobe, and that's when there's like a little smaller piece that is outside of the main margins, and those can be dangerous when there's an additional lobule like that because the chance for rupture can increase and the chance for retention, which can cause hemorrhage. So yeah, let's see. Looks like this placenta had it was almost a marginal insertion there. The cord's typically found in the middle. This one's near the edge. If it's really on the edge, that's called a battledore or marginal insertion. And sometimes you get what's called a velamentous insertion where like the cord goes into the membranes and there's a bunch of veins that are exposed, and that can be dangerous when those vessels are exposed because they are just more susceptible to breakage. So the typical cord length is about 21 inches. This one looks a little bit longer than average. And this one, as I said before, was previously frozen, so it's kind of blood stained. But oftentimes the membranes will be like green tinged if there was distress and there was meconium released during the birth. This cord looks like it has 2 arteries and 1 vein, which is normal. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's a problem with the baby if there's only 1 artery and 1 vein. Can be signs of chromosomal or genetic abnormalities, but I'm not sure if you can see there, but this one's normal. It has 1 vein, 2 arteries, the arteries carrying oxygen away deoxygenated blood away from the fetus, and the veins carrying oxygenated blood to the fetus and other nutrients like glucose and amino acids and all of that. So Wharton's jelly is inside of this membrane, and that just makes it so that it's less likely to get a knot in it and stay that way. It just makes it so that I don't know if you can see that. I'm sure you guys have all seen this trick before, but yeah, the Wharton's jelly just makes it really slippery so that the chance of it developing a true knot is less likely, which could cut off the blood supply. And that's like a 1% chance, very rare. The cells in here are rich in stem cells. So cord blood banking is something that we don't see typically because we like to see all of the blood from the placenta flow into the baby. It's about 1/3 of their blood supply, like half a cup of blood, and so it helps prevent anemia and all of those things. But if you do have a family history with leukemia or something like that, people are more liable, more apt to do the cord blood banking. I learned this week that actually the temperature change when the placenta is birthed, when the baby comes out, the temperature change kind of solidifies the Wharton's jelly a little bit and constricts the vessels to kind of naturally clamp the cord a little bit. But typically we like to clamp the cord at least, 3 to 5 minutes after the baby's born. I'm trying to think of what else I missed. I guess just this is the fetal side, just to give you a really nice look at that. The tree of life is, you can see why it's called that. It looks like roots of a tree, or as other people may see it, like the branches of the tree, this being the stalk. And then this is the fetal side, which is attached to the mom's uterus and interacts with the chorionic plate, the basal plate of the uterus, and this being the chorionic side. So that is the tour, and hopefully I won't have any issues posting this video. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks.